The launch event for the famous perfume brand was filled with celebrities and well-known actors who came to join the celebration. The brand's executive was an actor, a senior actor in the entertainment industry, well known among both junior colleagues and high society celebrities. Among those who caught the media's attention was the beautiful villainess who had been out of the spotlight for about 6 months following a severe accident. Rumors had spread that Nafak Theranasorn was disfigured and didn't want to meet her fans or was even paralyzed, despite no photos confirming these claims. These rumors had caused significant damage to her reputation. Today, however, everyone would learn the truth from Nafak herself, as she attended the perfume brand's launch event with a handsome man by her side. This sparked new rumors that he might be someone special to her. The sound of camera shutters and the flash of lights began as soon as the celebrities started arriving according to the schedule provided by the event. Organizers. Each celebrity was interviewed in a way that didn't interfere with the rest of the event. Finally, the person the reporters were eager to interview about the rumors walked in with a handsome, sharp-looking man. She wore a white dress that showed a bit of cleavage, adorned with a white gold necklace with a heart pendant, which held significant importance to her. Despite being away from the camera for a while, Pat still smiled and performed her duties perfectly. However, the man by her side, who had been forced to camilong, was starting to lose his patience with standing still and smiling as instructed. He regretted agreeing to his mischievous sister's request. The naval officer couldn't help but smile inwardly at the beautiful woman beside him. He'd fallen for her pleas, which should have been his brother's responsibility. Instead, he as a cousin was dressed up and brought to the event, introduced as the nephew of Fakhuffen Theranasorn. Pat, you've been away for a long time. A reporter began as soon as the beautiful villainess and her companion were invited to the interview area. As you all know, I had an accident and needed a long time to recover, so I wasn't ready to take on any entertainment work. I'm here today to congratulate the perfume brand. Pat replied with a smile. And what about the rumors, Pat? Another reporter asked. Those are just rumors. I wasn't disfigured and didn't need to go abroad for surgery, and I'm not paralyzed. But I must admit, the accident was quite severe. Pat answered, still smiling, though slightly annoyed by the numerous rumors that had spread during her recovery. Are you fully recovered now? A male reporter asked, curious about the beautiful villainess who had once topped the sexy rankings voted by men. I'm fine now, but I still have to see the doctor regularly. Pat replied, and the man by your side today. The reporter trailed off. Let's have him answer that. Pat said sweetly, causing the naval officer to look at her with a hint of reproach. He'd been told to just stand there, and now he had to answer questions. We're cousins, the naval officer said succinctly, sending a look at his sister, who was clearly enjoying teasing him. And the rumors about you frequently visiting King Hospital because of a special someone, is that true? Another reporter asked. Where did you hear that from? Pat asked, still smiling. Someone saw you at King Hospital often. The reporter replied. I go to see the doctor, Pat said. Just the doctor, no one else. Is the doctor special to you? Of course, the doctor is my personal physician. Anyway, I have to go now so you can interview others, Pat said, smiling at the familiar reporters before walking away with the naval officer, who immediately started complaining that he wouldn't be tricked into attending another event with her. You said I just had to stand there. The reporters asked, and you only had to answer a little. Don't try to sweet-talk me. I'll tell Dr. Premzini. He threatened, knowing that mentioning the doctor would make Pat behave. Everyone always threatens to tell P. Prem. Pat pouted. Then why are you so mischievous? After the event, we'll go our separate ways. He whispered as the time approached for guests to choose their favorite perfume scents. How will I get home? Pat asked. I've arranged for a driver to pick you up. And where are you going? My partner wants me to meet his close friends, he answered, causing Pat to frown. She'd be alone when she got home since her beloved doctor had plans with friends. Chai has a boyfriend. Should he bring his boyfriend over to meet her, right? Don't you think you should introduce your partner to me, Chai? I'm afraid you'll tease him. You're exaggerating. Whatever, I'm going with you. The naval officer had no choice but to introduce his partner to his cousin, fearing her complaints otherwise. He'd wanted to introduce his partner to the family, but their schedules never aligned. After the perfume brand launch, the naval officer took Nafak to the restaurant where he'd arranged to meet his partner. Meanwhile, his partner was smiling as all his friends had arrived early, teasing him about finally introducing his boyfriend. If not for their indirect pressure, he wouldn't have wanted to reveal their relationship yet. Despite having known each other since high school, he still felt shy about it. Who could have thought that the man he had a crush on would be his future boyfriend? It's like being on top of the world. But when he saw his boyfriend walk into the restaurant with a familiar woman by his side, he was surprised. How did they know each other, and why were they so close? It wasn't just the naval officer's partner who was confused. Pat almost rushed over when she saw someone she knew well at the table. Pat, wait, where are you going? The naval officer quickly stopped her. To see P. Prem. Who? P. Prem is over there. The naval officer realized that his partner was sitting with someone Pat knew well. Could it be that his partner and Pat's partner were friends? Dr. Tankhun smiled, realizing that his partner was related to Dr. Premzini's partner. Is Dr. Tankhun Chai's boyfriend? Pat asked. Yes, I didn't expect your cousin to be your boyfriend, Tan. Dr. Premzini had known the naval officer before but never thought he'd have a male partner, let alone her close friend. No wonder she felt familiar with Pat's relative. She'd seen him from a distance during their gatherings when Dr. Tankhun would leave to meet a man. Now she knew who Dr. Tankhun's boyfriend was. The conversation at the table was filled with stories about two incredibly handsome men, as the beautiful doctors questioned them about their relationships and how well they knew Dr. Tankhun. But of course, the naval officer had no trouble answering, especially with a stunning partner who occasionally teased him, earning a stern look from Dr. Premzini, which made him sit quietly and listen. The lively conversation continued as the three doctors felt relieved that Dr. Tankhun's boyfriend wasn't the young man he'd previously dated. If that were the case, they'd have to prepare to console Dr. Tankhun when he got heartbroken hearing the phrase, "We just don't fit." But this handsome and intense naval officer was someone they all approved of, not because he was related to Pat, but because of his words and demeanor, which were impeccable. It seemed both Dr. Tankhun and the naval officer were okay with being in a relationship without being glued to each other all the time, as they both had their responsibilities. After introducing Dr. Tankhun's boyfriend, it was time for everyone to part ways. Pat smiled at her beloved doctor, who told her to get off the sofa and freshen up before relaxing together in the living room. Get up, go soak in warm water first, and then we'll watch a series. Cold water is fine too, P. Prem. No, warm water relaxes the muscles more. Prem insisted. Every time she heard this reason from her beautiful doctor, she couldn't help but feel proud. Every time she went out, she had to come back and soak in warm water, even though her legs had healed. Dr. Premzini still worried, fearing she might get sore or her muscles might get tired. I don't want to soak alone. And let's bathe together. It's lonely bathing alone. You're over-exaggerating. Won't you take a bath with me, P. Prem? I don't know, but I'm going to bathe now. You could just say you agree to soak in warm water with the one who loves to tease, Dr. Premzini. The bathtub, suitable for one person, didn't seem to be an obstacle for two women to soak together as both had slender bodies. Pat's face started to blush when the woman opposite her signaled her to move closer, even though she'd seen Dr. Premzini's body countless times. Seeing it under bright light made her shy, often getting teased for it. Since the accident and all the ensuing events, she hadn't been confident in her body. Every activity to control excess fat had to be done carefully, with some activities being strictly prohibited. Prem. Move closer. Put your leg over here, I'll massage it. I can do it myself. Will you move closer or not? Okay, you're so strict, doctor. Stubborn patients need strictness. Do your legs hurt today? Not at all. I'm fully recovered, Prem. Even if you've recovered, I still worry. You need to take care of yourself. Dr. Premzini's words made Nafek smile repeatedly, and she smiled even more when the doctor's soft hands started massaging her legs like every night. Even though her legs were normal, Dr. Premzini still massaged them to relax and exercise the muscles, just like when she had to diligently do physical therapy to walk again. Others might see this concern as excessive, but she never got tired of it. The more concern, the more it showed their love. Prem. Yes. I love you, Prem. After confessing her love, she moved her leg, which Dr. Premzini was massaging, and snuggled closer until their faces were so close they could feel each other's breath. Dr. Premzini didn't respond to the love confession, but instead cupped the beautiful face lovingly before pressing her lips down gently, followed by a sweet kiss that never seemed enough. She used to be confused about kissing this woman, but now she wasn't confused anymore. Her kisses were filled with love. Who knew how long they kissed, but their breaths became heated, signaling they needed to breathe. But Pat seemed unsatisfied with the sweet kiss, moving to sit on Dr. Prem's lap, not letting their lips part for long still. Wanting to play with the kiss she never got tired of. Wait. Dr. Prem had to gather her thoughts before things went too far, holding the beautiful face with sweet eyes. Not here. I'm healed. Don't be stubborn. Though she felt a bit sorry seeing Pat's disappointed face, she didn't want to give in. It wasn't that she was shy about showing love in new places, but she worried about the inconvenience, especially wanting Pat's legs to stretch fully, not bent for long periods. I understand. She understood her beloved doctor's concern, even if she was a bit disappointed, knowing her body was fully healed. I'm very worried here. I love you. The lips touching her chest made her smile and immediately forget her annoyance. Dr. Prem just didn't want her to feel too excited, affecting her heart too much. The bathroom might be too exciting, but the bedroom was definitely allowed, right? On the soft bed, their beautiful naked bodies moved closer, even though there was plenty of space for two people to rest comfortably. But the two women chose to stay close, feeling each other's heated breaths. Pat breathed heavily as her beloved doctor's lips touched her bare skin slowly, reaching her full chest, teasing her, making her voice out that if she kept teasing her nipples, she might have to turn the tables and lay the doctor down instead. As the beautiful flower petals were tasted, Pat felt so tormented she wanted to lift her hips away, but another part of her wanted more touch. It seemed her thoughts were known, making the touches faster to relieve the sweet torment. Her breath quickened as she reached the desired end, responding to the soft lips giving a sweet kiss like every time their bodies expressed love. Shethan snuggled into the arms of the woman who lay down, smiling sweetly. Does your heart feel any pain? Dr. Prem asked, stroking the hair of the woman snuggling against her chest with concern. Even though she knew the activity wouldn't affect the heart much, she wanted to be sure the excitement from touching wouldn't impact her lover. No pain, just happiness. Now it's my turn. Dr. Prem didn't respond, letting her lover's lips touch her chest, which seemed to be her favorite spot, teasing for so long that sometimes she had to protest to move elsewhere. The sounds of happiness continued with their naked bodies not parting, and it seemed the night of expressing love through their bodies wouldn't end easily, as they still wanted to touch and learn from each other after the recovery period. So it wasn't surprising that Dr. Prem and Pat didn't want the night to end quickly. Beautiful villainous Nafek Theranosorn, after being away from the entertainment industry for months, returns at a perfume brand launch, addressing various rumors, including one about having a special someone who is a doctor at a famous hospital. It seems the beautiful villain didn't deny the rumors. We might soon see her officially introduce her lover. The gossip magazine's words made the reader smile slightly before putting it back on the shelf, having picked it up to read while waiting for someone. The person mentioned in the news, if it were before. Dr. Primzini wouldn't have bothered to pick up a gossip magazine about actors. There was no need to know about celebrities. But now, with a special someone in the entertainment industry, she had to read them occasionally. She used to tease Dr. Falada, but now those teases seemed to reflect on herself. P. Prem, have you been waiting long? The voice, accompanied by a light touch on her arm, made Dr. Primzini immediately start examining the beautiful woman beside her. Before she smiled, noticing that the woman beside her wasn't wearing high heels, but had chosen sneakers as she'd requested. After finishing work, she always had to wear sneakers for the comfort of her legs, which, although healed and pain-free, still required caution. Not long, she replied. Did I just see you reading a magazine? Reading news about you. News about me. Pat had agreed with her doctor lover not to take on any work that might lead to news or jeopardize her health. Therefore, any acting jobs she took had to be carefully selected and approved. News about you congratulating the perfume brand. Oh, because I have a special someone who is a doctor. Pat smiled at the woman beside her, who was dressed in a sweet-colored work dress. Today, she had a cosmetics brand ambassador event at the mall from afternoon until evening, so Dr. Prem drove straight there to pick her up so they could go home together. Are you done with work? Yes, all done. Let's go get something to eat. I'm starving. Okay, did you tell the driver to go back? Yes, I did. Actually, I can drive myself now. That's not allowed. Dr. Prem's calm voice made Pat, who was eager to drive herself, fall silent immediately. She knew that no matter how much she pleaded, driving was off limits for a long time. I won't drive. I worry about you a lot, Pat. I understand. It's actually nice to just sit and relax. Pat chose to hold the soft hand of her beautiful doctor. She understood the concern and love reflected in her eyes. After a severe car accident that nearly took her life, her family and Dr. Primzini strictly forbade her from driving. The sight of the wrecked car was truly terrifying. For dinner, we chose a famous Italian restaurant, but before we reached the table the staff had prepared. Pat paused slightly. Inside the restaurant was a woman she once had a crush on, sitting with an older man who didn't look like her father. She chose to smile because, despite some misunderstandings, their friendship remained. She hoped Nam would find good things in life, but it seemed she still chose comfort by becoming the mistress of a famous music label owner, as rumors suggested. Someone who thought Nam was still her manager asked Pat to warn her, but she'd already said they were no longer connected. What's wrong? You said you were hungry. I saw Nam. The word Nam in Thai means water. Of course you did. There's water in front of you. P. Prem, you're joking with a poker face again. Pat said, wishing she could kiss her beautiful doctor right there if they weren't in public. Am I not telling the truth? You are, but I didn't mean the water in the glass. She was sure her beloved doctor saw Nam too, but chose to mention the water in the glass instead. Okay. Some of my friends wanted me to warn her. About what? She became the mistress of a music label owner. Pat, you and her had been friends for long. Do you think she'd listen if you warned her? She probably chose what she thought was best for herself. I think the same, even if I warned her. She wouldn't listen. Knowing Nam's personality, she believed her choices were the best. Warning her might make Nam think Pat was jealous, and especially now that Nam had everything she wanted, even if it was immoral. Let's eat so we can go home and rest. Okay, P. Prem. Pat glanced at her friend's table once more before deciding to ignore her. Nam had made her choice, and Pat shouldn't interfere. Even when she nearly died, Nam never visited her. Is this what they mean by fair-weather friends? When there's no benefit, there's no value in remembering. The friendship. After returning to the condo and finishing their personal routines, it was time to relax and watch TV together. But Dr. Premzini always brought a foreign language book with her. P. Prem. Yes, look at this news in the newspaper. News about Thawat and a model. Pat handed over the newspaper with a headline about a scandalous photo of a businessman and a model known for her scandal in the entertainment industry. A series of scandalous bedroom photos of a famous businessman has caused a stir, leading to a sudden wedding to cover up the groom's peculiar tastes, which might be exposed after the bedroom photos created a buzz. Dr. Premzini returned the newspaper to Pat, who had found the news about her former fiancé. She wasn't interested in his life anymore since they had no connection. So, what if I read the news? Nothing, just that he married a woman completely opposite to what he wanted in a mother for his children. He brought it on himself. But it's good he did. I got to meet you, and we fell in love. Sweet talker. Let's taste how sweet my words are. You said you wanted to watch a series, but now you're inviting me to the bedroom. Let's go cuddle, P. Prem. Let's go to bed. Pat said, sending a sweet look. Cuddling with Dr. Prem was better than watching a series. But I want to read. You can read in the bedroom, please. You'll let me read, but your fingers will be crawling all over me. How did you know, P. Prem? Though she pretended to complain, Nafak smiled widely as Dr. Prem got up from the sofa and led the way to the bedroom. Whether or not there would be any crawling, one thing was certain. It was time to head to the bedroom.